afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to our Skills Hub webinar. Today, I'm the presenter at this Skills Hub webinar. My name is Sabiha, and the topic for this webinar is communication and leadership skills. Okay, so what is the reason for choosing this topic for our Skills Hub webinar? Because we want our students to build confidence, build collaboration skills, effective communication skills for achieving success in their academic life as well as their professional life. So I would like to show you very quickly that what are the topics that we will be discussing in this webinar. So first, we'll try to see how to define leadership, what are the key leadership skills, and why these skills matter. And then we will also discuss communication essentials. We will see that what type of leadership style is more relevant these days in a changing business world, which is transformational leadership. And then we will also see some examples of transformational leaders. And at the end, there will be a Q&A session. And there will be a couple of icebreakers as well. As you can see, the first one starting now. What word comes to mind when you hear leadership? So you can go to menti.com, you can enter this code that you can see on the screen, and then you can submit 1 to 3 words. And we will see the word cloud. I would like to see that how you guys defined leadership. Okay, so has anybody entered any response? Okay, I can see some responses here. Guiding, leading, strong will. Thanks for your responses. Okay, thanks very much for taking some time to define leadership. Okay, so let's move on. I chose few leadership quotes from some of the famous either authors or leaders. I believe you are very familiar with these faces. So the first quote is from Steve Jobs. According to him, leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. And John Maxwell, who is a famous author who wrote a lot about leadership, according to him, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. And you must be familiar with this leader, who is Barack Obama, 44th President of the United States. According to him, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So I thought these are some inspirational and um, you know very meaningful quotes. Okay, so when we look at the leadership literature, um, uh, the literature actually comes up with a lot of skills and a lot of qualities, characteristics that leaders should possess. But I chose few of them, which are very basic to begin with, and I thought that that would be very relevant for all of us and for you as well, to start with. So if we say what are the key leadership skills, I chose these four. First, confidence. Second, communication. Third, teamwork. And fourth, problem solving. And why these skills matter? Because you guys are working on different projects. Either in your academic life, you're working in group projects, and at your workplace, you are also working on different projects with your workmates. At job interviews as well, because we need to have this ability to demonstrate to our employers that what value we can bring in and what is our vision for our future career. So these skills matter in our career life a lot. And of course, if we want to succeed both in our academic life, personal life, and professional life, these skills matter a lot. And as we move on, we will see that why I'm saying that these skills matter. Okay, another activity. So I know that different leaders have different leadership styles. Some are very democratic, some might be very autocratic or authoritarian or dictator, and some maybe believe in more like coaching as a coach. They work with others, they work with their teams. Some are visionary. So if I ask you what best describes your leadership style, can you drop, again, you can go to menti.com, you can enter this code, and if you think that your leadership style matches with one of these three options, that's fine. If you think that you have a different leadership style which doesn't fit into these options, you can drop your response in the chat. So I give you 1-2 minutes. And then I will look at the responses. Okay, so option 3 is chosen so far. Which is democratic. All right, thank you very much. Okay, all right, so let's move on. As we said, the topic is communication and leadership skills. So communication plays a very important role in successful leadership. So we will have a quick look at what are the communication essentials. Clear messaging is very important because if we want to build leadership skills, we have to be good at communication because leaders always communicate with other people. And this messaging should be very clear so people could understand that what message the leader is conveying. And active listening is also very important because sometimes we might have this misconception. We believe that for communication, it's more about talking and less about listening. But actually, both are very important. Active listening as well as communication, both are very important for effective communication. So active listening is another essential for good communication. And the third is conflict management. So conflict management is relying on effective communication. And conflict is something which is unavoidable. We always have conflicts in our personal life, in our sometimes academic life as well, if we are working with others, especially in group projects, and also in professional life as well, because this is the beauty of uniqueness among human beings, because we are very different, we think differently, we behave differently, we have different viewpoints, and we have different interests. So that what makes working in teams fun, but at the same time, sometimes it's challenging to navigate through conflict. But if we have good communication skills, that means we actively listen to the other party, we try to understand their interest and their viewpoints, and what is the reasoning and logic behind what they want to achieve. And then it's more likely then that we are open to listen to others, and we are more problem solving rather than being rigid, and we have better ability to actually resolve that conflict, take it as a problem, and then solve it. So having more like problem solving attitude rather than being rigid and being winning in that conflict. Okay, so another question for you guys. What is the number one quality that you admire in a leader? Because I know that you guys are all working in different workplaces, and you have either worked with different managers, different leaders, or you have observed others or watched other leaders or listened about other leaders. So based on your observation or your knowledge, what is the number one quality you admire in a leader? And you can drop this answer in a chat. I will also look at the responses in the chat. Okay, thank you very much, Asta. Must listen, everyone. This is the number one quality you admire, and do the things in holistic approach. So I believe you're saying that, understanding the whole situation or understanding the whole problem and also paying attention to the context. Thanks very much for your response. And lead by example. Thanks, Catherine. Okay, so we have another response. Thanks, Reg. Connecting members and leading with empathy. Okay, thanks very much for your response. Okay, all right. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your responses. Okay, so we all understand that the world is changing rapidly, and there are a lot of changes in the business world as well. So that's why the old-fashioned leadership style, where leaders used to command and control their people, that is no more relevant these days. Rather, transformational leadership style is one leadership style that fits very well in the current context. So that's why I thought that I'll just focus on few important characteristics of transformational leadership style, and we can all learn together that what are the key characteristics or skills that we all should try to build. So now we know that the business world is changing, and the people, there are different types of generations at workplace, right? The employees are very much digitally skilled. They do have good digital skills, and the businesses are also adopting new technology and reinventing their business models. And they're trying to think that how they can run their businesses more effectively rather than relying on old-fashioned business models and styles. So they are all trying to stay competitive. That is something that businesses always do. They are always in the race to be competitive. So transformational leaders, they do have a very strong vision, compelling vision for the future of their organization. They believe in inspiring their employees, motivating their employees rather than commanding and controlling them. And this type of style is very effective in uncertain, unpredictable, and changing conditions where we are living these days. Okay, so what are the key features of transformational leadership? So these are 4 key points and very easy to remember. First, inspirational motivation. So as I said earlier, they have a very strong vision, what they want to achieve. And they also have this ability to communicate this vision to their employees or to their followers. And they give energy to their followers to actually help them achieve that vision. And second feature is idealized influence. That means leading by example. And somebody said that this is the number one quality that they admire in their leaders, right? So it's very important that transformation leaders, they lead by example, and they are the role model for their employees or their followers. And they have good character, like integrity, and very strong sense of purpose. The third feature is intellectual stimulation. So that means they encourage their people to be creative, solve their problems in new ways, different ways, more effectively and more creatively, and thinking out of the box and not solving the problems in traditional and old ways. So that is also important. And the fourth feature is individualized consideration. That means supporting and mentoring their followers. And somebody said, I think Red said, that the number one quality that you admire in leaders is that having leading with empathy. So caring for people, supporting them, and helping them to grow. So professional growth and fulfilling their needs. That is also a very key feature of transformational leaders. So they emphasize on team collaboration, teamwork, and they empower their employees. They motivate them, they encourage them, and they give them freedom to exercise in doing their roles. So basically, this transformational leadership, it replaces dominance of the leaders with inspiration. And people are very important for transformational leaders because we all understand that technology, of course, with advancing time, we see more advancement in technology and more creative business models. Of course, with time, businesses will come up with more and more different types of business models. So these things will keep changing, but people are the core factor of the organization. So that's why we need to invest more on people, and empathetic leadership is very important because that's how we can maximize the team performance and um, actually help our people to grow, excel. Okay, so now we are moving towards conclusion. So how leadership and communication both complement each other. I think that based on whatever we have discussed so far, um, uh, leadership skills plus communication essentials, we have already discussed that. So I chose few tips which are very simple to practice, very simple to start with. So first, listen actively. I know that it's hard, and we become very impatient when we have to listen to someone, but this is one of the effective communication skills, because communication starts with active listening. Before we speak, we need to develop this skill, listening actively. Second tip is practice clarity in every conversation. So it's very important that we need to look at how we speak and how we write. So whether it's verbal or non-verbal communication, we need to practice that our communication should be very clear. So the other person, the recipient of our message, should understand exactly what we are trying to convey through our communication. And third tip is be comfortable in leading projects. I know that in academic life, there are group projects, and some group projects when students choose one group leader, right? So if you are given a responsibility to lead a project, either in your academic projects or at workplace, if you are asked to, lead a project, we need to be comfortable with leading. And even if there is an opportunity, you can take initiative to lead a project because that experience will help us a lot. How we can manage a project and how we can bring everyone together to complete a project effectively. And the fourth tip is practice creative problem solving. I know that our brain is tuned to think in old-fashioned ways or very traditional ways, but we have to train our brain to think more creatively, think of new ways of solving our problems. So this is something that we can practice. And the fifth tip is support and mentor your team rather than blaming your team members. So that's very important that we take the lead and we take the initiative and we take the responsibility to support our teams, whatever team you are working with at workplace or in your group projects as a student. Okay, all right. So whatever we have discussed so far, I want you to share your experience. So this is a quick emoji check-in where I want you to imagine that you have been asked to deliver a presentation or lead a project, either at college or work. And how do you feel about that? You need to basically drop one emoji to express your feelings about public speaking or being a leader in the chat, and I will have a look at your responses. So it's just imagining yourself in those two situations. All right, I can go to chat to see. Okay, all right. So I can see some emojis. So some excitement, some celebration, and being in control, and loving that experience. That's great. But I can see one emoji kind of crying. All right, another one very happy about this. Okay, love to see these emojis. And okay, all right. Okay, so there is just one emoji um, from Samyam, I guess. Okay, I want you to be comfortable with these two types of situations where I asked you to imagine. And remember, we are all learning together. So there are few tips that we have already discussed. So we need to practice those tips and be comfortable. Okay, as I said earlier, that we will also look at a few examples of transformational leaders. So I just chose four. I know that you are familiar with, I believe, all of them. Barack Obama, former US president, then Steve Jobs. We are all familiar with that. And then Martin Luther King Jr., who was an activist, political philosopher, and also Jacinda Ardern, who was the former Prime Minister of New Zealand. Okay, now I know that we have just a few minutes left and we need to leave some time for question and answer session as well. So this is the last activity. I leave it with you. This is a leadership postcard. I want you to write a short note to future self with one piece of leadership advice. Save it for yourself, and you can also share it with us in chat. And now this is a question and answer session. So please feel free to ask any questions that you have about this topic that we discussed together in this webinar. I will be looking at the chat. I will be looking at your responses.
Questions?
Sorry, what was that?
I was asking everyone if they have questions.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Dr. Sabiha. I believe I've actually had this discussion on is for everybody, if in case they have a vision of being a leader in the future.
Okay, sure. So if there are any questions, we can answer them later. Is that what you're saying?
Saying that the lecture or the discussion that you had is really good.
Oh,
yeah, it's really good actually. So it talks about leadership. So a lot of us students wants to be a manager in the future, wants to lead or wants to, of course, they wanted to go to higher position.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these tips are really good.
Yeah. I know there is a lot to learn, and I try
There is a
to,
lot.
focus on few important and basic skills that we can all start practicing. Okay, thank you very much, guys.
No question at all. I believe they understood what we have discussed because you did it so you made it so easy and concise, and it's easy to understand. So
yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So should we end this webinar now? It's only 12:45.
okay. Yes, I believe there's no more question. We have messages here that says thank you for the webinar. From Asa, thank you so much for such an interesting webinar. We have from Hajidul, thank you so much, Dr. Sabiha. And also Catherine said, Ma'am Sabiha, thank you so much for this wonderful topic you have discussed as aspiring leaders. We find it very helpful on the steps on becoming successful. leaders. I believe Catherine wants to be a successful leader.
A pleasure.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. It was lovely to deliver this webinar.
It
Okay.
was, yes, it was really an honor to have you as our speaker today and learning a lot from you, Dr. Sabiha. And yeah, thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for your time. I guess this is it for today's webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am, for extending session. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Sabiha. And
Bye.
we'll see you in our third session of webinar.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon.